Yo, welcome back to the channel, gang. In today's video, we'll look at some creepy and interesting TikToks that'll make you question everything. Let's get it.
Prestem atenção neste vídeo que foi gravado na Sexta-feira Santa. Acompanhem. Olhem, pessoal, tem algumas pessoas tentando tirar este pano da cabeça de Jesus, porém, eles estão com dificuldades. Alguém viu aquela mão? Alguém viu aquela mão que ajudou eles tirarem o pano? Acompanhe o vídeo de novo. Estão vendo lá? Viram a mão? Que sinistro, né, pessoal?
I'm not sure if this is a church ceremony, but this sculpture is looking too real.
There is a secret side of Disney World the company doesn't want you to see. If you look at a map of the park, there's a little green spot in the middle of Bay Lake. Now, there's no description of what it is, and it's completely off limits to everyone, including employees. Around 20 years ago, this mysterious island was actually another Disney park called Discovery Island. You'd take a boat from shore, arrive at the island, and basically look at exotic birds. Fast forward to 1999, Animal Kingdom opens, and it's basically a bigger and easier to get to version of Discovery Island. This sparked the very quick decline of the island. Today, it's abandoned and in ruins, completely overrun by nature. It's also heavily guarded. If you're anywhere near Bay Lake, you can be assured that you're being watched. It makes you wonder if there's more to this island than Disney is letting on.
Disney might as well remodel it and make this an extra attraction.
It was 24 hours to a day. So they tell you you're supposed to sleep what?
8 hours.
And so now you got how many left?
16.
And then you're supposed to work what?
8 hours.
And now you got what left?
8 hours.
You haven't cooked. You haven't got dressed. You haven't said hello to the children. You know, sleep deprivation. That's how they get you. Sleep deprivation. That's why the rich folks, you better not try to call their house after 8 o'clock at night. They sleep. You work midnight, what they call the midnight shift?
Graveyard shift.
What graveyard mean what?
Death.
Death, okay, death. Why? 90 minutes after the sun go down, your brain get recharged. After midnight, the charging stops. If you're not home by midnight, you turn into a what? Pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
What's the only part of your body look like a pumpkin? Your head.
Wow, this is quite mind-blowing. I've just been told by one of my followers who's contacted me, they've got an insider at the Pentagon. And basically, the latest thing at the Pentagon regarding UFOs, there's a group, a cabal there, that believe that the Anunnaki are returning to Earth on a spaceship. Okay, and they seriously believe this. They're supposed to be returning in the next couple of years to the Middle East, to Sumer, which is now modern-day Iraq. So not only is it baffling that high-up members of the US military at the Pentagon believe this, but they passionately believe this. They think this is going to happen. And I know that some, like Collins elite, believe that UFOs are demons, basically. This is taking it one step further. It's like, whoa. I mean, the Anunnaki myth, they created us as a slave race. Are they coming back to enslave us more or liberate us? Who knows? But I just thought I'd share this with you. It's absolutely baffling that, and you know, maybe it's a sign of the end times. I don't know. Weird.
That type of intel might be a few notches higher than what the Secret Service is exposed to.
If I told you the Matrix was right when it said 1999 was the peak of human civilization? Think about it. At the end of the 20th century, we had the perfect mix. Technology was exciting but not invasive. The internet was a tool, not a cage. And we still valued face-to-face connections. In the movie, they called it living in a dream world, maybe because we believed everything they told us. Civilization was living in a bubble, shielded from the ugly truths of the system. They also said, at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence. as we gave birth to AI. Prophetic, isn't it? Because right now we're doing just that, celebrating AI, letting it write, create, and even think for us. But here's the scary part. The more it does, the less we do. Just like they said, the moment AI started thinking for us, it stopped being our civilization and started being theirs. And here's the kicker: evolution, Morpheus, evolution. And that line wasn't just about machines getting smarter. It's about humanity giving up control, letting the systems we created define what evolution even means. We've gone from shaping the world to being shaped by it. So where is this all heading? A society where algorithms make all the big decisions, where we're plugged into screens 24/7, living in curated realities. It's what they warned us about, but we don't even see it because we're too busy marveling at how convenient everything's become. The Matrix didn't just predict the future, it showed us the path we were already on. And the question is, do we keep walking it, or do we finally wake up? I'm gonna go ahead and say this is just a joke for entertainment purposes.
Kid. Yo, cut everybody electric. Kid. Yo.
Lower it! Lower it! Lower it!
Yo, he's a kid, yo.
No!
He's a kid, yo, two-steppers. Yo, two-steppers. What the get him. What the come get him, yo. He burnt. Oh no.
With that kind of driving, you're begging to get fired.
Let me tell y'all a true story, B. So boom, pay attention, watch this video to the end. So, do you know who this is in this statue right here? It's Satan, but it gets crazier. You ready for this? Now notice the chain on his foot. You see it, right? You see the chain on his foot? All right. You ready for this? I got you. 1 second. Now notice the chain on this foot. Y'all should know which foot this is. I shouldn't even have to say nothing. All right, guys, you ready? Stay with me, stay with me. I'm gonna show y'all something, B. Now, do you notice that the crown in his hands has 7 points on it, right? Stay with me, guys. Make sure you watch this video to the end. This is crazy. Now, do you see what's on the floor, right? An apple and a torch. You see the torch on the floor, right, guys? Stay with me, B. Stay with me. This is crazy. He's holding a torch, and there's a 7-point crown on his head. Remember the apple that was on the bottom of the statue of Satan? What do they call New York City? The Big Apple. Where is this statue at? New York City. What I'm trying to tell you is, the Statue of Liberty is Satan himself. Stop playing with me, son. Don't ever say I didn't teach y'all nothing. It's in plain sight. So, you got a statue of Satan right in New York City, and people been thinking it was a Statue of Liberty the whole time? Stop playing with me, son. So what I'm gonna do is go over there and knock that statue out, straight up and down. TikTok, this is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm just joking, right? Come on. I'm just playing around. This ain't real. This is all for fun, jokes, and let's just laugh about it. Yeah? Ain't nothing funny.
Probably France knew what's up, so they gifted it to America so we can deal with it.
Tuesday, a video is going viral on social media after 4 unidentified flying objects were spotted flying low over a private F1 networking event hosted by Alpha Connector outside a cigar lounge. It all began when a group of businessmen gathered outside enjoying cigars and drinks during the evening. No one expected what happened next. 4 large unidentified aircraft were seen flying in a tight low formation directly overhead. They were gray with visible yellow markings and made no audible sound as they passed. Witnesses say the objects cast noticeable shadows across the area before disappearing beyond the skyline.
A black ring in the Kansas sky has left many scratching their heads at the unusual and rare sight, but there was an explanation. Brendan Crew has more.
America's home to some strange and frightening weather conditions, but take a look at this. Spotted in Bonner Springs, Kansas, this rare smoke ring in the sky stopped many in their tracks. The bizarre smoke formation appeared in the sky, with witnesses saying they've never seen anything like it before. Meteorologists have since offered an explanation, saying it's a smoke ring and likely the result of some type of explosion, likening it to the formation of mushroom cloud, where rapidly rising air traps smoke in a ring-like formation.
This is either a smoke ring or a portal, but let me know what you guys think. Drop in the comments.
And seeing and recording that activity and put it into the sensory cortex of the second animal, and that animal acquires the knowledge. From the human drone technology standpoint, you can attach the human brain to another human brain, you can direct motor activity, or you can send communication and information. Dr. Ventnor's work is, my view, the equivalent of the development of nuclear weapons when you realize that he created life in a cell. He programmed yeast cells to produce anything he wanted. These can be inserted into you through the hypospray needles. You put in a specific gene slicing, you program what you like, you put it in the cell, and it can reproduce and make as much as you like. It sends a signal and tells which portion of the DNA should unwrap, unfold, and produce a product. Related to this is an idea called dreads. These are designer receptors that can be remotely controlled. You can create a cell, you can put it somewhere in the body, and you can remotely activate it. So you have the capacity to create any product, as long as you know the DNA sequence. You can insert it into a living system, and you can remotely control it. That may affect the way you think, the way you act. So once you know that the technology is there to edit, splice, and program a cell, and the technology currently exists to administer it to somebody and have it go park anywhere you program it to go park, proliferate, and do its function, you can have things activated in other people's brains. Just people have figured out how to hide imagery in the DNA of bacteria. You can have the information reproduced in a string form as a form of a protein. The new way to hide information is going to be in DNA. This is the first experiment showing what imagery you can hide in bacteria. This is the latest. It's a GIF file. Well, this is what the Chinese are doing with DNA. Merging DNA systems with quantum computing will be really quite an amazing and both lethal threat. The next thing I wanted to mention to you is memory. Can we erase memory? Can we modify memory? Can we change memory? Short answer is yes.
In more Mahdi news, the apparent Mahdi, he has just put hands on somebody, on a woman, and he has healed her. She was on her way to the grave, and he put hands on her, and she is now healed. This is him putting hands on her. This is her in the hospital on the left, and this is her now on the right. She is now healed and healthy. Now, you may ask yourself, how did he do it? Remember, the Bible says that the Antichrist will have lying signs and wonders, and he will deceive possibly even the elect. And so people were asking, was he healing people? Was he doing what the apparently he has healed a woman. So this man has laid hands on a woman and she is now healed. It's just interesting to me that this man came out of nowhere. He's doing weird things. I just don't get it. I'm a little appalled. I'm a little weirded out in a way. I don't know. It's just strange. This guy claimed to be the Mahdi and he's also performing healings. People were asking, was he doing anything other than just running his mouth? Well, here's some proof that he has done. Now, granted, you might say that it was all staged and the woman wasn't actually sick and they set it up to be that way, and that's what the lying wonders is. And could be very much so that, or he's operating out of a different power and not in the power of God, but it's going to be deception that makes people believe that it is in the power of God. And so we are seeing these things escalate. This man is not just somebody who came onto the world stage and it seems like he's going to disappear. Seems like he's every single day making his rounds. And he's trying to unite Christians, Muslims, and all these different other religions together and try to make it into one. What does that sound like to y'all?
So according to CNN, apparently there's this huge mile-wide volcano under the West Coast Ocean that is supposed to be erupting sometime soon. Not only is it going to be erupting soon, but CNN is saying that it will cause at least 10,000 earthquakes along the coast. This is concerning the west coast of California, where the San Andreas Fault is. But you want to know why many people haven't even noticed? It's because they're not announcing this on the main screen. They're announcing the tariffs and they're announcing pharmaceutical prices coming down, every reason why people should hate Donald Trump. This is on their fine print. You know, the very small letters on the bottom of the screen that nobody ever reads, but that's typically where the real news is happening. Search it up and you will find that there is that fine print on the bottom of the screen of CNN News that is announcing those 10,000 earthquakes that are expected to arrive here soon, and it will be over all of the course of all of these months due to that volcano erupting under the Pacific Ocean.
I can barely imagine a volcano being a mile wide, but having 10,000 earthquakes in close proximity might be like a knockout punch.
STDs and demons too.
Really?
Oh yeah. Did you know that?
STD?
Yes. You might as well call them sexually transmitted demons. Okay? Like, dude.
Is that bad?
Yes, bro. I don't know if you know this, but STDs come about spontaneously.
What do you mean?
Like when people are sleeping together, someone will get an STD and one partner won't. And they'll be like, you gave it to me. No, you gave it to me. And they don't know who. And it will create a bunch of chaos. Really, it's because you're living infidelis. You're just being promiscuous and the demon has access to you now.
Wow.
So the demon can cause this. And so one partner will get it and the other person won't. And then they'll be blaming each other. They won't know how or who or what. They'll be like, well, maybe you had it and you were infected and you gave it to me. Like, bro, that's how it happens all the time. Anybody watching that's had STDs right now, they're knowing what I'm talking about. They're going to be like, oh, shoot, he's right.
So both don't get it at the same time?
No, one partner will get it, the other won't.
Wow, that's weird.
It's very weird because it will be like the debate like, well, you can be a carrier and not get it. No, freaking, you're literally doing things against the Lord and the judgment is opening up and the demon has a right to access you.
Wow.
This is how it functions. And then guess what? You got to go get some witchcraft, take the little magic pill to make it go away, which is pharmakia, again, witchcraft.
Yeah.
So like demons and STDs and parasites, absolutely.
Wait. So you mean to tell me the reason why we can't go to Antarctica, because it's another me over there, and we're not supposed to cross paths? So you telling me it's another you over there? And as I was stating, we're not supposed to cross paths, or it's gonna mess up something in the universe or something?
I'm not sure I can deal with another me. I'm too competitive for that.
I see the skull. This hole.
What in the world?
This right here is living proof that when the universe wants something gone, then there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Look at this road here in Collins, Georgia. Last year, it got wiped out by a massive flood. They just fixed it. They recently opened it, y'all. And now look at this. Yesterday, it got wiped out again by another massive flood. God was like, nah, this shift is not over. Did you guys see this monstrosity in Oklahoma? So there are 8 other houses that are on the other side and the people are trapped. They can't get to the side, y'all. This is where the other side is where civilization is. The other 8 houses, the people are trapped. This is crazy.
1322 in Blanchard washed away due to flooding. You can see there once was a pond here. Now that's gone. There's even fish lining here. The roadway about 150 feet.
Yo, that's crazy, man. Nature is so powerful. And then look at this one in St. Louis, y'all.
Look at this hole in St. Louis, bro. This is crazy. Now, this is beyond crazy. St. Louis is getting crazy. My homeboy said he hit this pothole the other day, and he came out and bathed. No bullshit. Hey,
Yo, that's crazy. All these holes happening. Yo, the planet is talking. These holes are happening all over the world. The planet is talking. And, you know, this 3D matrix is collapsing right in front of us, y'all. The shift is here, like we're telling y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get this shift. It's here. Peace in.
Y'all, this is mad creepy. I'll explain in 1 second. So, Walmart is building a whole freaking city in Arkansas. Well, I have a friend that lives in Arkansas, so shout out to Heather because she sent me this information and she put all the stuff together and she checked the location of this city that Walmart is building, right? She compared it to a map, a pretty known map, and she found out that this entire city was built in an area that would still be here after the Great Flood of 2025. If you look right here, more than half of Arkansas is completely wiped off the map. And you mean to tell me that Walmart, of all corporations, don't you know about the Walmart theory? Other word theory, that weird thing with Walmart. The Walmarts that are closing down all over the country with crazy barbed wire fences, you know that one? Is building a whole freaking city in the one location that would not be flooding in that state. If you live in a blue area, you better find yourself somewhere to go like all the billionaires did years ago. Don't forget what I just posted earlier. And by the way, it's talking about the guy who's in office now when the situation happening. It's not a long time ago, this was now.
What in the world is going on? A mile-wide underwater volcano is ready to blow its top off the west coast in the coming months, causing 10,000 earthquakes in one day.
Allegedly, but the Walmart city is not allegedly.
Being that Walmart headquarters is in Bentonville, Arkansas, for them to actually expand their base within that state is not really alarming to me.
Oh, freaking fire department and black trucks and men in black out there.
No, I was wondering why my sushi was glowing.
If your credit card companies are closing your credit cards for no reason or lowering your credit limit, this is why. There's something in the banking world called net interest income, which is the income that credit card companies make for lending you money. If you're not really using your credit cards, that could be one of the reasons why they either close it or they lower the limit. However, there's also risk. If the credit card companies or the banks determine that based on how you use your credit cards or how you've previously managed your credit cards, you are a higher risk, they might not want to give you a $10,000 credit line. And if you have a $10,000 credit line and they think you're a high risk, they're going to lower that limit or perhaps even terminate that relationship. Or and more often now, I'm getting these type of questions from my community asking, Ricardo, why is my credit card limit being shut down, especially after I make a large payment? It's not because you made the large payment, but it's rather because of the fact that that credit card company does not want to continue to take the same amount of risk that they've been taking with that open line of credit from you.
According to Russia, there's much more to Antarctica than the public is being told. They claim that top governments worldwide know exactly what's going on there, but they haven't disclosed it until now. Possibly an entire continent below Antarctica's ice. Could this be Atlantis? Some theorists even believe that an ancient civilization that once fell actually lives and inhabits the continent below the ice. This is what essentially attracted the larger world governments to Antarctica, to see if they couldn't find this alleged continent. But why would this important discovery be kept top secret from the public? Well, many believe it's because of a discovery that Russia supposedly made back in the early 2000s. In the early 2000s, a Russian scientific expedition made an amazing discovery. After drilling 2,000 meters into the ice shelf, they'd break into a cavern and discover freshwater lakes. And much to their surprise, these lakes were not frozen. It was essentially fresh water that had been isolated down there for what they believed to be 10 million years. So after making the discovery of the freshwater lakes, the scientists decided that they wanted to set up an expedition to drill down to the largest of the lakes, Lake Vostok. It's said that this borehole took over 10 years to dig, and now it's fitted with an elevator that you can take all the way down. This elevator would take 8 scientists down to the lakes to verify their existence. But little did these scientists know, they were about to embark on an expedition that could cost them their lives. Shortly after they began exploring the lake, they would have a run-in with an organism known as Organism 46B. Organism 46B was very similar to that of an octopus, except it was much more lethal. It said it had a venom that could paralyze its prey for up to 150 feet. Then it would rip them apart at its leisure. And 46B did just this to one of their colleagues while they were diving in the lake. They said that though it is just like an octopus, it is actually much larger and has 14 legs. It's believed that 46B has some traits of the mimic octopus from the Indo-Pacific, except 46B could actually take its shapeshifting to another level. One crew member found this out the hard way. He witnessed as what he believed another diver was approaching him while in the water. As a result, he really didn't pay much attention to it until it was too late. Organism 46B had actually shapeshifted itself to mimic the look of a fellow diver. He would paralyze the crew member and tear him apart. After this second death of one of their colleagues, They knew that they had to capture the creature in order to study it. Naturally, Russia wanted to study it so they could possibly use it for warfare in the future. So they'd use the female crew member who was said to have extra fantastical traits. She was highly skilled at camouflaging herself and avoiding being killed. To me, this almost sounds like a Black Widow type woman from Avengers. So they'd place a massive net in the water and use her as bait. Sure enough, the creature would show up for its feast. As it approached, she'd quickly evade the beast, and they'd capture it in a massive net. They would then get the beast on the elevator, and they'd send it to the top, where scientists would put it in a tank. They'd then study it for years on end, and it's alleged that they still even have 46B contained. This is allegedly how they've come up with all the information they have on it. Russia also wanted to study the venom it used to paralyze its prey from over 150 feet. This is just one of the possible stories that have leaked from Antarctica. It makes you wonder what else could be down there. But I gotta know, do y'all believe in this story? Do you believe in 46B?
I'm not sure if this is real, but any animal that has a name made up with just letters and numbers, we gotta stay clear of it.
A guidebook for life. Why was the Book of Enoch removed from the Bible?
A rediscovery of the kind of technologies that were used by a lost civilization.
The Book of Enoch is fascinating with its vivid stories of angels, fallen beings, and cosmic mysteries. Recently, however, the discovery of new fragments has reignited interest among scholars and the public alike. On a recent episode of his podcast, Joe Rogan revealed how this new book has secrets no one was supposed to know. Could these texts challenge our understanding of history, religion, and humanity's place in the cosmos? Let's dive right into it. Who is Enoch? Enoch is an intriguing figure who appears in the Hebrew Bible in Genesis 5:18-24 as a man who lived for 365 years and walked with God. This phrase suggests an unusually close relationship with the divine, a kind of closeness that set him apart from nearly everyone else described in those early biblical narratives. Unlike most individuals who reach the end of their natural lifespan and die, Enoch's story says that he was taken up by God without experiencing death. This has long fascinated people across different faiths. In the standard book of Genesis, Enoch is mentioned only briefly, yet that short passage raises lots of questions. For one, it implies that Enoch was chosen for a unique fate, which separates him from everyday human patterns. It also makes one wonder, could Enoch have played a bigger role in ancient history than the official canon suggests? Because the Hebrew Bible does not offer many more details, those curious about him have often turned to extra-biblical or apocryphal sources to learn more.
Pellegrino, it literally says S Pellegrino. Spell agrino. Spell agree. Why do they cut off the word san? It's a spell of agreement. Or like Sunkissed. If you look at the Sunkissed logo, it doesn't say Sunkissed. It literally says Sin Kissed. Things like Albertsons is owned by Cerberus, which is the three-headed dog of hell. And then you got Deathwater, Coca-Cola. Oh, it's named Coca-Cola because it came from Coca, because they used to put Coca in there. Coca gets its name from the demon Coca or El Cucuy. All refers back to like the coconut, which was a race of hairy demons that would kidnap children. And Santa Claus is actually the Cucuy, and he's the mascot for Coca-Cola, or Die et Coke, or Sierra Mist, which is the Mystics. They're putting it out there to tell you that these are the occultics people that are in control. Big Tobacco owns most of these companies. They are putting spell, they're putting curses, they're putting poisons in these things. Like Dr. Pepper. Pepper means to be beaten.
Now I feel like that garbage can is smarter than I am.
I wanted to impress his wife, so he hired hitmen so he can save the day.
Oh, word.
You've never heard this story?
Nah.
So
that's smart though.
Yeah, no, it is to a point, but this guy was stupid.
Yeah.
So I think it's called the Shonda case, and it all started because Shonda caught her husband Michael cheating on her on the phone, right? So Michael's like, he's pressed about it. He's like, oh yeah, let's sign a divorce. I don't even want to be with you no more.
Yeah.
Shonda's like, okay, bet, let's do it. And then like he kind of like Shonda calls his bluff, and he really didn't want that because he really wanted to stay with Shonda.
Yeah.
So what he does while he's in his old house, he keeps threatening Shonda online. He's like, oh, I'll leak the videos that we took, like the X-rated videos. I'll show them to the world. Shonda's still like, I'm not taking you back, bro. So in his old house, he comes up with a plan. He's like, okay, I'm gonna hire 2 of my boys and hire them as henchmen to go kidnap my wife one day.
Damn.
And I can come in, beat up the 2 guys, and she'll be like, oh my God, you saved me, and we're back together, right? So on the day, right, Shonda's chilling in her living room. There's knocks on the door. She opens the door. 2 guys in like red costume on some like heist shit.
Yeah.
She's like, they have like guns. Oh, we need you to come in the truck right now. Don't move.
This guy's a mess. He's watching too many movies. But that's it for the video. Thanks for kicking it with me as always. I appreciate all the love. But before you leave, be sure to like this video and sub up, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.